Hey guys, it's Friday with Alex. We're on episode 2 right now. So the theme for this week is things you should notice but don't. And I initially came up with this idea because like 2 weeks ago I was in the shower and I just used up the last of this bar of soap, and I was like, you know what, I don't remember actually using any of this soap. Like, I mean, I know I used it, but like, you don't realize you're using soap until it's gone. That's my thing that you don't notice is soap. I know, it's a little odd, but it's especially evident when you get a new bar of soap, and then like the old bar of soap is like a crumb of fucking soap, and then you get a new bar of soap and it's like the hugest honkinest freaking brick of soap, and you're like, what? What? This is so awkward right now. I mean, it's huge, and it's a giant bar of soap. So yeah. So that's thing number one that you probably don't notice is the diminishing of soap. And I have some visuals here of soap just for you guys, you viewers out there on YouTube. Soap! Little one, big one, little one, big one. Yeah, it's pretty intense, I know. So when I was thinking of other things to talk about in this episode, I was thinking about rectangles and squares and how they're just frickin' everywhere. I mean, TV, movies, posters, pictures, paintings, picture frames, like there's so many squares. Anything that's like a visual media source is like a square for some reason or another. And then on top of that there's even more squares. So I'm just going to walk you around my apartment and show you some of the squares in my life that I encounter on a daily basis. Like this towel. It's kind of square. Hand towel, also square. Sure, shower curtain. Oh, it's square. Well, there's some rectangular doors right there and a rectangular friggin' light switch. Windows, they're rectangles. Beds, giant fucking rectangles. Books, binders, rectangles. CD cases, squares. Paper, squares. Wallet, square. I mean, cell phone, my screen is square. Laptops, their screens are square. Keyboards are square. TVs are square. Like, there are just so many freaking things that are squares, and you probably would have never noticed before, but if you pay attention, there's a lot of freaking squares. Which is why I don't understand why you'd ever want to buy, like, a Honda Element or a Scion XB. You don't have enough squares in your life? Do you need to drive around in a square? It's a little bit of overkill, if you ask me. Something else you may not notice? Volume on headphones. Because a good song comes on, and then you turn it up, and you just adjust. Your hearing adjusts to it. But somebody, like, walks in the room, and they're like, shit, your music is fucking loud as hell. Turn that shit down. And you're like, I'm sorry. I didn't even know. I wasn't even aware. Sorry. Something else that's sort of along the same lines as that is people who scream on their phones because they don't realize how loud they're being. Yeah, it happens all the time when someone's in the fucking grocery store in aisle 14 and they're talking like, you know, no one in the world can hear them. And I'm like, dude, the phone works. You don't need to scream. But they just keep screaming! That's what they do. It's really bizarre. I don't get it. I mean, I guess in some situations, you might feel like if you can't hear the person, then the person can't hear you, and so you need to scream, but man, those people just don't seem to notice how loud they talk. I just don't think they notice. And I also think that people who use those Bluetooth headsets don't notice that they look like schizophrenics. Because they're talking to themselves, and it's kind of weird. And you're like, what? Are you talking to me? Are you just babbling to yourself? Are you seeing things? Are you having a psychotic break right now? Because I don't know. I just know you may or may not have a little headset in your ear and like be talking to somebody. It's real weird. Really awkward too. So if you're one of those people, just be aware. Things you don't notice, how awkward you look. Yeah, you look fucking awkward. Just stop. Alright, well the last thing I wanted to comment on this week was the fact that Olympians, their whole life moment is defined in like maybe like a minute-long sporting event that happens once every 4 years. That's kind of remarkable. Something you might not notice. I think what makes it really weird and different from anything else is that, like, you could be the best office person ever. You, like, can do papers, you're organized, you make the best fucking coffee on the floor, but you're not repping for your whole country, your whole office building. That moment isn't going to be defined with a ceremony where you're going to get a sweet little medal that says, like, best coffee maker ever. That's not going to happen. Only Olympians really get that. That's kind of cool. Something that you don't really notice? Maybe you do. I don't know. But it's kind of a big deal. I mean, I'm not really huge into the Olympics, but this year I'm like feeling it, because I'm like, wow, these people have worked their whole lives for this one freaking moment. It's pretty insane. Pretty insane. Respect to the Olympians. Survivor recap time. Alright, this was added a week after I did my video, like the next day, so I didn't even get to comment on the 2-hour premiere. So I'm just gonna keep it brief and say I thought that it was fucking awesome when Susie was like, I'm fucking unpopping your bra, whatever, like, ridiculous shit in the first hour, not even the first hour, in the first half hour of the freaking premiere. Crazy. Oh my god, dude, this week, Rob's little incident where he fell in the bushes and was like, I don't even know. I really think he, like, ate some bad mushrooms or something and he was tripping face, because he was like, Jeff, I can't let him get me out like this, it's wearing on me. And I was like, what? What are you even talking about, dude? You're laying here in the fucking woods, like, no one is around you. I don't know what that means. He was, like, I am almost certain he had some kind of acute food poisoning. And then I loved how the show was like, yeah, it's just, I have good guy-itis, or whatever the frick they said it was, like, you know, I'm so down about the fact that I'm on the bad guy team and it sucks and everyone's lazy and that's why I was, like, tripping face. Alright, Rob. Whatever you say. Alright, well that's it for this episode. Remember, this channel's about you guys. Get involved. Leave a comment. Tell us what you want to hear us talk about. It could be anything. I mean, it might not be enough for a whole segment, but we could, you know, do a little answer the viewer question time. You know what I'm talking about? Alright, well, stay tuned for Sean on Monday, Justin on Wednesday, and be back here for me next Friday, and I'll see you guys later.